The weather has been quite nice enough to take your family and your fur baby on a hike or two. So if that excites you, Haley Cottey with ExploreMore DFW is here to share what you should know before you go. Good morning to you, Haley.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay, so tell me, what dog breeds are great to take a hike with?
So really, I mean, any dog that you have, if they want to go on a hike, you can absolutely take them. But really, the like shepherds, the working dogs, the herding dogs, any of those kind, they would love to go on walks and be able to explore something other than like the sidewalk in your neighborhood.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I was just talking with Greg because neither one of us have pets. But if I did have a dog, I would want like a Yorkie or something, and I'm pretty sure that they would not last on a hike.
They actually may make it further than you think. But the good things about those is you can always pick them up and carry them if they get a little tired. Sorry. The worst thing is to be on a hike and be a mile from your car and have a large dog that is done.
He's ready to wrap it up. He sits down and he's not budging.
And you can't pick them up. So.
Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about tips then, because we want to be prepared. You say to be up to date with those vaccinations before heading out. Why is that so important?
Some places require it, depending on like the trail, but it's also just for the safety of your dog and other dogs and wildlife that you may encounter. Because I mean, like you said, dogs can be unpredictable.
They can be unpredictable, and they will get into everything. Now, next is make sure that the trail actually allows dogs, and you kind of touched on that a little bit, making sure that they're dog friendly.
Yeah. So some trails don't allow dogs, especially if it's like a wildlife sanctuary. They often don't allow dogs because the wildlife is the priority.
Right.
And dogs can, and I mean, even if you have them on a leash, they can also disturb wildlife without even meaning to. Just the smell of the dog can make deers and things nervous. And so just making sure dogs are allowed. You can usually find that out on their website or by giving them a call, calling the rangers.
Okay, so then you say to plan ahead, be prepared. What does that mean? What does that look like? What are we taking with us?
So you really want to make sure you pack plenty of water, a bowl, some treats, plenty of poop bags, because the last thing you want is to run out of poop bags. That's unfortunately happened to me before, but you don't want to be out there, especially if you're in a neighborhood or a really popular trail or a park. You don't want to be stuck without a bag.
Yeah. So. Okay, this is also a PSA, people. Clean up after your dogs, okay? Please. From somebody who don't have one, please. Okay, now tell me, you say to know your limits and know your dog's limits as well, and I think that goes back to them quitting halfway through.
Yeah, especially in Texas. I mean, I've been on hikes where people bring their large dogs, and we're like a mile and a half from the car, and their dogs are just exhausted. They're tired. They didn't bring enough water, or or they just thought the dog could make it longer. And you also got to remember, dogs don't sweat. They don't cool down the same way we do. And so, especially being in Texas, you want to keep in mind what your dog is capable of, and have backup plans if your dog's starting to act tired. Head back early, or take a shortcut. Not like stay on the trail, but usually most trails will have turn-offs that you can head back early.
And maybe you can even do like a test trial with your dog, right? And so go out there and start small, and then if they make it, then start extending it from there. That's actually a really good point. Now, always keeping your dog on a leash, because I know some dogs are trained where they don't necessarily need a leash and they can stay by their person, but is that the rules that they need to be on one?
So most places you have to have them on a leash regardless. Now I am not referring to service dogs, although they are typically on a leash as well, but most places require it, but also you got to keep in mind they're still a wild animal. I've talked to plenty of people who are like, my dog is perfect. They will stay, they will come to me. And then I've literally hiked with these same people, and the dog takes off, and they're like, come back, and it doesn't come back.
And then
you can't, and other dogs, like other people may think that about their dog, and their dog's off leash, and the last thing you want is to end up in a dog fight, or your dog may be really friendly and want to go say hi to a dog, and then someone else is like, my dog is not friendly, they are scared, or they're anxious, or like they're angry. And so they may have their dog on a leash, but it's just for the safety of your dog, their dog, other people,
of everyone,
and wildlife. I mean, it could be fawning season. If you don't keep up with those things, I mean, there could be like very vulnerable animals out in the meadow, and if your dog smells it, they will run.
They like to play with them. They do.
And that won't always end well.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, great points that you made here today. Tell me where people can find you and where they can find so much more about the trails that are perfect for their dog, maybe in particular, or anything that they really need to know.
So we have an app called ExploreMore, and I'm currently personally working through the Dallas Trails bingo card. And so all of the trails on that bingo card, except for Herd Wildlife Sanctuary, allow dogs.
Okay.
And so I've been working through that bingo card with my dogs. But you can look up all trails, look up on the ExploreMore app, and just find something close to you.
Find everything you need. Haley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.